Hey, Mina. How did you enjoy your holiday?
Oh, we had a great time, thank you. Well, there was an enormous thunderstorm one day. I didn't like it when it started getting really loud. Oh, but we played on the beach every day. And one day we made friends with some other children. And just as the tide was coming in, we decided to have a sandcastle competition. We only had about 10 minutes to do it.
Oh, I love building sandcastles. My dad always takes a garden spade when we go for a day at the seaside, so we can build really big ones. We like making moats with channels down to the sea.
Well, in this competition, it was the castle that stayed up the longest when the tide came in that won.
How many people went in for it?
Oh, not many. It was on the day we had the storm, and the black clouds were coming, and a lot of people went off the beach. Anyway, I said to my dad that we had this Bible story in Sunday school the week before. It was about a man who built his house on sand, and another man who built his on the rock. I had this idea that if we took notice of what Jesus said, we might have a chance of winning the competition.
And did you win?
Yes, we did. Do you want to see my photos?
Oh, yes, please. Oh, that's a good one. I really like that one.
Our castle, it stood twice as long as anybody else's. Even when this thunderstorm came, it still stayed in the place.
Oh, I get it. You built yours on top of a rock. Cool, Mina. Really cool.
Well, we didn't have very long time, like I told you. But my dad also he takes the garden spade. He was a really big help. I couldn't have done it on my own.
Oh, I do like your dad, Mina. But why was Jesus teaching people about building?
I don't know. It's really strange, isn't it?
Still, it worked for you, building on a rock, didn't it?
Oh, yes, it really did.
Uncle Sam, I've come to ask you, why did Jesus tell people how to build houses? He didn't usually talk about things like that, did he?
Well, yes, he did, Charlie. You see, he's told stories called parables. Stories about everyday things, but with a hidden meaning, to make people think.
Tell me that story again, please, Uncle Sam.
Well, one day the most awful storm began to rage. The wind blew very hard, and the rain came down in torrents. In fact, it rained so much that the rivers overflowed. Now, there were two men who'd recently built houses. The first man had built his house on solid rock, and as the wind and the rain battered his new house, it never budged. Both he and his house were safe. However, the second man hadn't built his house on such a firm foundation. In fact, it was built on sand, and as the wind and rain battered his house, it wasn't long before it came crashing down around his ears.
Mina and her dad built their sandcastles on a rock and won the competition. She remembered that story and told it to her dad.
That was good thinking then. And it's very true that you need good foundations if you are building a house. But Jesus' hidden message was about building our lives.
Our lives? What did he mean? We have to build our lives on rocks.
There are some things in life, Charlie, that look like solid rock. Like money, for instance. Being rich and famous, or having a good job. But all these things are only temporary. They don't last long. So when troubles come, they're not much use to you. these things are not the most important things in life.
So what would be a good thing to build a life on, Uncle Sam?
Truth and honesty.
Good relationships?
You're getting the idea, Charlie. But the most solid thing of all, in my opinion, is following what Jesus taught us.
Like what it tells us in the Bible?
Exactly. Well done, Charlie.